Hello, welcome to Kevlar's Quest, the Modern Life podcast. I'm Kevin Ejezi. Today's quest is the courage to live. Why men deserve more than just sacrifice. The courage to live. Why men deserve more than just sacrifice. Some of what I'm about to say might be hard for some men to hear. It would make you question how you see yourself. But that's the point of this podcast and this particular quest. There's a saying, fish can't see the water. If you've lived in something your whole life, it becomes invisible. You stop noticing it. And after a while, you start to think that that's the way things are just supposed to be. That's how it is for many men today. Most of us have been taught things about manhood that we don't even realize. It's like we've been programmed, brainwashed even. I know that that's a strong word, but I haven't found a better one. This programming is everywhere, in culture, in media, family traditions, and it's been around for so long that we think it's normal. We have been told that men are naturally different from women, that men are supposed to be tough, strong, and willing to sacrifice. But what if that's not true? What if that's not nature? What if it's just a story we've been told for generations? Let me give you an example from history. During World War II, Japan had kamikaze pilots. These kamikaze pilots, their work was to carry bombs and die together with their plane after crashing into where they feel that the enemy is where. Young men who were ordered to crash their planes into enemy ships. They knew they would die, but they were praised as heroes. Their sacrifice was seen as the highest honor. And who were they sacrificing for? Not other men, no. It was mostly women who were protected back home. Women and children. So here's the question. Would a healthy, happy man choose to die like that if he hadn't been taught that it was the right thing to do? If you take away the honor, the glory, the praise, would he still do it? Probably not, because survival is natural. Every part of us wants to live. So to give up your life like that, you need to be convinced, you need to be taught that dying for others, especially for women and children, is what makes you valuable. And here's the thing, that belief didn't die with the war. It's still here today. Today, boys are still raised to believe that their worth comes from how much they can give, how much they can endure, and how much they are willing to sacrifice, especially for women and children. In fact, in the West and even most developing countries these days, women are seen as first in hierarchy, followed by children, followed by pets, then followed by men. Men are at the bottom. This idea is everywhere. It's quiet but powerful, and I believe is one reason why more men take their own lives than women do. Because from a young age, boys are taught that their pain doesn't matter, that their job is to protect, to serve, to suffer, and never complain. But what if we change that? What if we taught boys that they matter just because they exist? That their feelings are important, that their lives are valuable, that they don't have to destroy themselves to be good men. Imagine a world where boys grew up knowing they deserve love, care, and protection, just like anyone else. That will be a revolution, and I believe if we start now, we will see that change in one generation. Let's be honest. Even today, men are still sent to war and expected to go die for causes they don't understand. Men are persistently pressured in some countries to serve in the military. Why? Because deep down, we still believe that men are disposable. You ever wonder how many wars we might have avoided if women, often seen as the more valued sex, were the ones sent into battle? I mean, would we still rush into conflict if it meant risking the lives of our daughters, sisters, and mothers? Maybe not. If it was women that were going into battle, we would look for other ways to settle conflicts. But here's the thing, men are constantly expected to sacrifice, not just in war, but in everyday life. Not for their own dreams or happiness, or for the sake of women and children. Society tells men to man up. Not when it benefits them, but when it benefits someone else, especially in romantic relationships. In fact, relationships might be the biggest wealth redistribution system in history. Whether through taxes, marriage, or dating expectations, men are expected to provide, no matter their status. Even single men aren't exempted. The old bachelor tax is just being rebranded as joint filing benefits. Yes, men are, even if you're a bachelor, have been taxed for the welfare of society, mostly to take care of women and children. This idea that women are entitled to men's income implies something deeper, that they are entitled to the labor behind that income. And if you believe someone's labor belongs to you, that's not just unfair, it's a form of slavery. Partial, yes, but still real. And because it's subtle, it's easy to ignore. Now I know this will stir up some reactions, but I don't think the strongest pushback will come from women, because women themselves, they know this. It will come from men. Yes, it will come from men. And I don't blame them, because most of them have been programmed from birth that is the way things work. Some of them will challenge you, even fight you for it, because many men have internalized this idea of sacrifice so deeply, they see it as nobility, even holy. They take pride in giving everything up for a woman. And for every man who feels proud of that, there is another who feels broken because he has no one to sacrifice for. And that's how deep this programming runs. Let me be clear. I'm not saying women should be kamikaze pilots too. I don't want anyone to be. But sometimes standing up for what you believe means putting yourself and putting something on the line. And if I'm going to do that, it will be for my own values, not someone else's. I reserve that right at least. To show how this plays out, imagine a guy named Tunde is in trouble. Before I risk my life for him, I'll ask, what did Tunde do to get into this mess? Why can't he protect himself? What do I gain by stepping in? Why do I feel responsible for his choices? Now, swap that Tunde for Kemi. Suddenly, it feels different. Add the word honor, and we are off to the races. But is honor really what a life cut short? And that's why most of the times, you see people ask, wetin man do man? Wetin man do man is because men have been programmed that their life don't matter, that of women and children matter more than their own. That's why most men do not help men. Like this question I just asked now with the example of Tunde and Kemi. Men often feel guilty when they don't sacrifice enough. Like Cain in the Bible, ashamed that their offering wasn't accepted. But that guilt, that's programming, and the way out is to choose life over sacrifice, to choose abundance over martyrdom. So here's my radical stance. My life is just as valuable as a woman's. My dreams matter too. I want to live a long, happy life. I'm not here to be a vessel of sacrifice just because I was born male. And let's be honest, most women already understand this. They know that living without honor is better than dying with it. Life is precious, and men's life are no less precious because of their gender. If we accept that, we will have more peace, more justice, more equality. Now I know men love honor. That love and glory that they crave, so do I. Even me that I'm talking here, I love glory and honor. But too often, those words are like a social license, leading us straight into the arms of death. Many men would die for their women. That's no small thing. But how many will live for them? How many take care of themselves, build wealth, and share abundance with the people they love? Dying for an ideal braveness. Living for it, that's harder. Living for it, that's harder. Anybody can die because he's brave, but living for it is the most harder part. And maybe that's the real calling, not death, but life, to be strong, healthy, virtuous, and prosperous as a man. These are ancient virtues older than Christianity, which taught that self-sacrificing is the highest ideal. And while that's noble, it's also dangerous because it can be exploited the way it has been exploited over the years. And many men have died for nothing. So my message is this. Know what you are sacrificing for. I did not say don't sacrifice, but know what you are sacrificing for. Know why. Because life demands more than death. And choosing life, that's the harder part. But it's actually the one worth working. Okay, that's our quest for today. Please subscribe, like, and share. Someone out there needs to hear this message. Maybe someone like you. Let's spread strength and clarity to those navigating this journey. Let me know your thoughts. Although, I hope it will not be bad. We will talk more in future episodes. Thanks for listening and take care.